Okay, hey everyone, Jen here. In this short video, I wanted to share something with you that I blogged about recently and I shared on social media. So it's a kind of philosophy of money. And I think that the philosophy of money is something that affects all of us. It's either in the teaching that we receive in our home, around the attitude that our parents have with money, or it's the received attitude from media, movies, TV shows, entertainment around money. And often money is polarized as really, really great, something that we envy or aspire to, or really, really bad, something that's greedy, something that is associated with wickedness and avarice and things, and kind of a miserliness. And one story that I wanted to analyze is something that affected me quite a lot in my childhood, is the story of Mary Poppins. So if you don't know the story, Mary Poppins is set in the 1930s, I think. The film was actually made in the 60s and it stars Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, and it's this really kind of amazing, dynamic, technicolor kind of singing and dancing show. And it's a movie that portrays a really strong black hat, white hat view of money and finance. So it starts with these two kids, Jane and Michael, and they've got these rich parents, George and Winifred, but the parents are not present. The parents are really absorbed in either work. In the dad's case, he works in the bank, and the mother is really involved in her political activism. She's a suffragette. And the children are at a loss. They're kind of stuck between two parents who are not really caring for them. And they're constantly kind of being given to these nannies. Like, rich children are always being looked after by nannies, and the kids don't like it. And the most recent nanny has quit, and the children write a letter wishing for a kind nanny, someone that's fun and someone that will do things with them. And obviously along comes Mary Poppins. So she's this magical, almost supernatural character who floats out of the sky with her umbrella out of the clouds and lands on their doorstep to look after them and kind of show them a new world of joy and laughter. Now, throughout the story, Mary Poppins is shown to be someone who kind of transforms the world with color and helps the children see joy everywhere that they go. Now, one day when they're out with Mary Poppins, Michael, the little boy, sees this old woman who's feeding the birds, and she's singing a song. It's 2p or 2 cents for a bag to feed the birds, come and feed the birds. And Michael really wants to join in and feed the birds with this old lady. But at the same time, he's starting to be taught by his father the ways of his trade, which is the banking trade. And he's brought into the bank to meet the banking superiors, who are all old white men who are pretty much dying and lifeless. They're all dressed in black. They've all got kind of this pasty white skin, and they're all very frowning and disapproving. And they're telling Michael, don't spend your money, put it in the bank, be frugal, be investment wise, spend your money wisely by saving it. And Michael refuses. He doesn't want to, and he breaks away, he runs away, and he wants to go back to Mary Poppins and the joy that they have together of kind of singing and dancing in the park. Now, another characteristic of Mary is she befriends chimney sweeps and poor people and rich people, and she's very egalitarian in her care. She talks to the animals, and she has these fantastic experiences, which is very, very different to the life of these children in London who live within a class system of not talking to certain types of people and seeing their wealth as almost a barrier to engaging with their other humans, pretty much. And it's through the eyes of Mary Poppins that the children learn to think magically and to laugh and to make friends with people that they normally wouldn't make friends with, and have experiences that they normally wouldn't have experiences of. But what I think the story paints a really simplistic picture of, with this image of these bankers who are all very dowdy, grey, stern and disapproving, is money institutions are life-sucking institutions where all your freedom and joy is taken away in order to think about money and finances, which is totally contrasted and opposed to the artists and the free thinkers and the children and the joy and the magic of what Mary Poppins brings, which is, it's exactly Michael's choice to spend the money and go and live a life of experience and joy versus saving the money, which is seen as something as dry and dead and crusty, essentially life sapping rather than life giving, which I think is one of the kind of unfair polarities of the story. What I think is a much fairer view of money and art and creativity and joy and life and human relationships is ultimately entrepreneurship, money making, finance, investment, wealth creation can and should be synonymous with creativity, connection, play, beauty, color, and human flourishing. Because the opposite is also true. Poverty, struggle, loneliness, suffering, these all exist where money is not respected and where money is in lack. Of course, where there's no money, there can be incredible joy and very fruitful relationships and a lot of freedom and laughter. But pointing out that money leads to something dark and deathful, whereas spending money leads to something joyful and free, is a really, really unfair and wrong polarity. The truest things in life can't be bought by money. Time, love, laughter, nature, play, connection, creativity, all of these things are free to all of us. However, money can enhance or detract from these equally. Making money and wealth the enemy of human flourishing is pointing the finger at the wrong target. The problem is disconnection, selfishness, fear, envy, malice, avarice, greed. These all detract from human flourishing. These can exist in places of money. They can exist in places of poverty as well. Money is simply an amoral agent. It's a liquid store of value. Creating money should be creative. It should be fun. It should be playful. It should create human delight. It should create human connection and flourishing. We live in a time where it's never been easier to be an entrepreneur, to make money off your creativity, to self-publish, to blog, to start an online business, to consult. We all have the access to the internet. We all have a laptop and internet in our home and a smartphone in our pocket. Starting to make money, to learn about money, to make investments is something that is within all of our power. It's not something that sits away over there in this bank vault with crusty old men. Money is something that we can learn to make ethically and then use that money to enhance the lives of other people, to improve the planet, to solve difficult problems around climate change, to encourage the flourishing of the arts and the sciences and education. Ultimately, making an unfair polarity about saving money and spending money and the virtues of either of them is just the wrong thing to point the finger at. Ultimately, it's about human connection and human love. And ultimately, it's about fighting disconnection and selfishness and fear and envy. My words to you is go forth, create value, have fun, help people. Being poor won't make us better people. If I wouldn't follow the Mary Poppins philosophy of finance. I think we need a better philosophy of finance, and one that's encouraging and bright, shows the true power of entrepreneurship and creativity and helping humanity flourish. That brings me to the end of this video. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.